Well, who would have thought that they were going to pull out a great finale for this season? We have the answers to the Antler Queen, to the Pit Girl, and we have one of the most satisfying shots in the whole show. Natalie, you are my Antler Queen. Hello everyone, my name is Joe and I review all of your favorite TV shows on this channel and on my Patreon. Subscribe, join. This was such a good season finale, guys. I know that the beginning was a bit slow, but even that one I liked. The whole plan. The chasing the pit girl was never about chasing the pit girl. It was about the plan to get Natalie up the mountain. And most of them were in on it. Natalie, Misty, Van, Hanna, Aquila, even goddamn Mari, who ended up being sacrificed for it. Damn. And they even changed the meaning that we had ascribed. Subscribed. The meaning that we had assumed was behind that freaky ass misty smile that was because of the hunt and the success of the hunt and the meats for the winter. No! Turns out baby girl was smiling menacingly like that because the plan worked and Natalie was up the damn mountain. God damn it. And when Natalie, honestly, one of the most satisfying things in the whole show was also when Natalie found out and figured out that Misty was the one that messed with the black box and she punched her square in the face. Adult Misty is one of my favorite characters, potentially my favorite character, but I enjoy that very much. And I mean, Natalie was able to overcome that so quickly. Her survival instincts are like beautiful because the way that she punched her, and then just as soon as Misty was asking, are you going to tell the other girls? Which, by the way, did she ever tell them? I don't remember if they all know that Misty did that or not. But as she was asking that, Natalie immediately said like, okay, you better give me a freaking reason. You better tell me that we can get out of here with this thing. And I mean, just the fact that she was able to overcome that information so quickly and be like, okay, what's the plan? Mother. Literally mother. And I mean, she saved all of them. So mother. And speaking of mothers, well, I'll tackle it later. Give me a second. And who does Shauna have at this point, right? Because her strength comes from Lottie and Ty. But I mean, we even see Ty being like, you better check yourself. And Shauna realizes, oh, I need this girl. I need her. Because without her and without Lottie, she doesn't have anything. She doesn't have any power. Because if she doesn't have that support, they're not there. They're not that afraid of her. Clearly, Melissa tried to choke her. They all kind of betrayed her. They all lied to her. The other girl literally lied to her face. What was her name? Jen. Literally lied to her face to like get them away from Mari. So she's losing power is what I mean. She's losing power. And I think that maybe this will lead them into next season before they get rescued to those tribal wars where Shauna will still be trying to regain some power and control of the situation because she doesn't want to leave. And we find out why. We find out why she doesn't. I mean, do we find out? Hasn't it been clear? I mean, they made it so kind of one-dimensional in the past, in this like past season, but I guess they're playing it as it's not really one-dimensional. It's just the fact that that's who she is. And there have been hints since the beginning. And I mean, they played the flashbacks to remind us of the hints. But yeah, she reveals why she did all that and why she actually wanted to stay. Did you guys hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? Damn, Shauna. And guys, we got the scene. We got the chasing scene. We got the chasing. We got the hunting. We got the spikes. Damn you, Travis. But I mean, you were trying to kill Lottie, so I understand. First off, even before the chasing scene, that shot with the head of the guy with the arrows as they've been practice training, demented. Oh, and what else is demented? Oh my god, this episode was so filled with stuff and so chaotic that my review is going to be all over the place. But you know what else was demented? Adult Ty turning against Shauna and basically blaming her for the majority of this bullshit when Ty, supported her. Who was the first person to step up next to Shauna when she said no one's leaving? Who was it? Ty? Demented. But I'll get there. But yeah, we get the shot, we get the chase, we get the feast, we get the antler queen, and we find out why, because this is the culmination of the whole thing, like of the whole show. How did it get this far? How did it get this far that they are hunting each other and eating each other in the forest? And it turns out it's to appease a spirit that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. Or does it? No, it doesn't, and I will explain why. But first, a tangent, because the dynamics in play here are extremely interesting, and I need you guys to listen to this and to think of our real, very real world with very real group dynamics, religions, power dynamics, leadership, and crazy ass people in leadership. I need you to think of that when I'm discussing this. Lottie is devout, right? She actually freaking believes it, and we get the confirmation. I mean, we knew. We knew, but we get the confirmation in this episode that baby girl actually freaking believes it to this day. And I will get to the shenanigans in the present and that goddamn vision. Lottie truly believes it. She's off her meds. It plays with her head. She was already prone to this kind of thoughts, and in the wilderness with whatever is influencing her, she truly believes the spirits of the forest. And then we have Shauna, a psychopath who clearly does not believe the spirits of the forest. From the very beginning, she doesn't believe the spirits of the forest, but it plays in her favor because some of the other girls, to a certain extent, believe, because that's how people are in the real world. The majority of people are somewhat religious or spiritual. So it plays to Shauna's favor to play up this spirit bullshit because it gives her power, because people listen to that bullshit and people listen to Lottie. Even Van and Ty, who are somewhat logical, listen to her and at some point believe part of it. And then we have Ty, who fluctuates. Sometimes she believes, sometimes she doesn't believe. At this point, she doesn't believe at all, but it's also useful to her. So she uses it as well to manipulate the dynamics of the group, what she wants to happen, because she wants it to be in her favor. And I mean, we see her manipulating things when she tries to convince and does convince Van to manipulate the cards, which, you know, sometimes Shauna paranoia pays off. Sometimes it does. And then we have everyone else who, as I said, kind of fluctuates if they believe, if they don't believe, the degrees to which they believe. We have Aquila, who at some point really believed it and now realizes it's completely bullshit and is just keeping them trapped there. And then we have goddamn Travis. Goddamn Travis, who never believed it, but just played it up to, I don't know, I guess be spared. Because, I mean, they already ate Javi. That's what everyone is doing, no? Surviving, trying not to be eaten. What did Travis say? What did Travis say? Do you really think this is real? Do you really think we are? In whose reality do you think we are? Don't you hear their thoughts? Part of my thoughts are Javi's thoughts. You know, but my favorite are Jackie's thoughts. You know, the slumber parties with the makeouts, the jealousy, the betrayals. And I know a lot of you are going to be theorizing, oh, so it's real. This is a reality that belongs to the spirits of the forest. And I need you to go take your pills because that's insane. And I need you to notice that Travis says this to destabilize, goddammit, what's her name? Shauna. All the while Lottie is there and hearing it, because Lottie is the spiritual person. And I mean, we kind of have had the hints of this alternative reality where after the girls die, they are going somewhere. But Travis says that while Lottie is there and listening, and he says that to destabilize Shauna so that she won't hunt. And Travis has said before that he doesn't believe in any of this bullshit. So was he really saying the truth? Was he really trying to tell them that he feels like they are living in an alternate reality that is dominated by the spirits of the forest? Or was he just trying to play them and destabilize them so they couldn't hunt Maury? Which doesn't work because they still hunt her down, and we see the shot, and then at the end we get the most wonderful, amazing contrast to the scene with Natalie last episode, where before we saw her sobbing, completely afraid and terrified by the idea that they might never leave the goddamn forest, sobbing because she doesn't have an idea of what to do and what's going to happen, and she feels like she's trapped in this bullshit tribe where Shauna just wants to kill everyone and live happily ever after. And then this episode, we see her climbing up the mountain with this really cool soundtrack, and she turns on she switches the antenna, and then there's a signal, and she calls, and they can hear her, and we hear the voice of someone. That was a great ending. Damn. What I hope happens next season is that we see everything. I want to see them come to rescue them. I want to see them being rescued. I want to see them being evaluated and interrogated. I want to see them going back into society. I want to see all of it. I want to see how all of it plays out. But before they leave, I think that Shauna will try to destabilize the things. I think she might climb up the mountain and destroy the goddamn machine, because we know now why she wanted to stay in the wilderness. That speech she made at the end was evil, and I will go over it. Goddamn Shauna. They never left the wilderness. They never left. The hunt is still on in the present. Now more than ever, because Shauna is back to hunting people. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my God, I'm going to talk about this. I wouldn't be surprised if Shauna, in the present timeline, started eating people again. Wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, next season, I think Shauna will still try to destabilize it, but then she will lose. I mean, they clearly get rescued. If you don't believe it's not real theory, they clearly get rescued, so Shauna will lose. And what they will be doing before they get rescued is clean up. Clean up. You know, the head with the arrows. Yeah, clean that up. And they're going to have to kill Hanna. They're going to have to kill Hanna. And maybe it's going to be the last feast before rescue. I'm sorry. Are you not thinking that too? Are you not thinking that? And lastly, I think it's clear by now that more than more than 8 of them have to survive. I mean, just for the simple fact that we need more adult characters for the present timeline, because there's still 2 seasons to go. And right now we have how many? 4? Misty, Shauna, Ty, and Melissa. Who else do we have? And Callie. Oh my God. When I get to that. So I feel like they need another adult character. And I think it could be Akila or Jen. They will need someone else. So for sure, more than 8 people are going to be rescued. But depending on how long the rescue takes to come, the 2-tribe theory could still happen. Someone commented on my last video that the 2-tribe theories are groundbreaking because it wasn't a synopsis of season 1. Listen, I don't remember. I tried to search for it. I couldn't find it, but I believe you guys that the synopsis included warring tribes. And I mean, I think we could assume that this little conflict was the war, but come on. Come on. I think you could still see a war with the same kind of outline as I mentioned in my previous video, where a faction of the girls are trying to protect this signal to make sure that a rescue can arrive at them, because it was a 6-day trek and now it's snowing. So I don't know like how big that thing is. It sounds pretty big. I'm not sure how accurate that signal is. So they could like send helicopters and stuff like that, and it could take them days to find them. Because if it's such a big terrain, and if the signal is not that accurate, it could take them a while to find them. And in the meantime, Shauna and her tribe and her faction of the girls could be trying to find Natalie to destroy the goddamn signal, because Shauna does not want to leave. So I feel like that could be like half of next season. And then eventually they get rescued, and the other half is them going through the motions after being rescued. And yeah, I hope it's less than half the first part. I hope the first part takes like 2 episodes at most. And then we see them rescued and adjusting. And in season 5, we see them like growing up and getting to the place where they are in season 1, that we meet them as adults. That's what I want. So let me know in the comments what your theories are for the overall plot of the next seasons. How do you think they're going to go? Let's discuss in the comments. And then the goddamn present. What was that vision? What was that vision? Because I was saying, oh, Lottie maybe is alive, but she's not. Because when she's resurrected in the morgue, it's not real. It's a vision, but it was so confusing because I feel like this is the airplane scene that we didn't get, because we see younger version of Lottie with dead older version of Lottie. And Van and Natalie wanted to leave. Clearly they wanted to leave. That they wanted that airplane. They wanted it. Lottie did not. Is that why we didn't see the airplane scene and we just saw her kind of waking back up to life and going back in time to the time where she was exploring the goddamn tunnels and creating an altar to her antler queen in the goddamn tunnels? Is this her like finally going forward into the spirit world of the antler queen and the spirits in the forest? Is this what this vision represents? Because to me, this was the equivalent to the airplane scene, and it simply wasn't an airplane because baby girl did not want to leave. She was right where she wanted to be with her antler queen. You know, an imagination in her head. But yeah, that was a bit confusing because it kind of felt like she was being resurrected, and also felt like she was going back in time. And it was like as if she was experiencing it again as she was going to this other spirit world. But then we actually get to see what happens when she's in the goddamn tunnels. And I mean, it also felt like she was having these visions when she was still back in the wilderness. Kind of like Lottie knew all along they would be rescued, so she just went along with everything because she knew they were on the right path somehow. And maybe that's why she helped Natalie as well, because she saw the vision and she knew that's what the spirit wanted, for them to be rescued and to go back into society. Why? Because Shauna had to make Callie. Shauna had to make Callie. I will get there. This is what I feel like is going on in Lottie's head, right? She had this vision of the future, whatever. If it is real or not real, I would lean towards not real, where they were rescued and Shauna would give birth to the ultimate antler queen. And and that's why she supported their efforts to go back, because Lottie helping them doesn't make sense unless she thinks that's what the wilderness wants. Because remember, Lottie is actually devout. Lottie actually believes it. So she would only help them if she thought that that was what the spirit with the wilderness, what it wants. So then we see what happens when she dies. She has this vision of this altar candle place to the spirit of the forest, the wilderness, and she builds it, right? She lights up the candles and whatever, and then she waits for her. Because, you know, there's younger her coming to old that her saying, are you ready to meet her? And supposedly she's having this vision years ago, so she knew she was going to meet the antler queen. But like right then, she knew it was going to happen, supposedly. And then Callie appears. And Shauna's like, oh, so it's you. You're the antler queen. You are our baby. My God. And when she's walking those goddamn tunnels, we even hear a baby crying. And I mean, I was thinking it was Shauna's first baby that we heard cry in the wilderness, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Clearly, Lottie knows what it's supposed to mean. Clearly, Lottie knows because it's in her head. And well, we find out that Callie was the one who killed Lottie. And we find out because Misty saw Lottie's photo in Callie's photo in Lottie's phone, and she says, you know, the DNA that we thought was Shauna could have been you, baby girl. And she confesses, and she tells the story of the fact that she went to get the tape that Lottie stole from her, that Lottie said all that crazy shit to her, and she pushed Lottie, and she didn't mean to, but Lottie died. And listen, I've been saying this like half of this season that Callie is really like her mother, that she has these impulses. We see the revenge on the bullies. We see her enjoying this video. We see her being friends with Lottie, potentially finding out a lot more than we know, because we don't know how much Callie knows. We don't know. She doesn't say what Lottie told her, but we know that Lottie probably told her a lot. And we know that Callie was enjoying what Lottie was saying. And I will get to that in a minute. But Callie has been having strange behaviors for a long time, and this season was just one after the other. And then, as I've mentioned before, she has been trying to kind of dismiss her mother or talk shit about her mother, which isn't shit. It's kind of accurate. But I feel like Callie has the wrong intention in the way that she's talking to her father about her mother, being like, she's not well, she's not stable, whatever. Am I like her? Like, I don't want to be mean because Callie is just a 17-year-old girl and she clearly needs help and needs a stable home. But I feel like she's not being honest with the story. I feel like, and this is kind of my theory for what happened, I think Callie lied about that story. I think that she was getting along with Lottie, and when Misty was drugged, because remember, we still don't know what happened while Misty was drugged. I think that Lottie told her about all of this bullshit, the Antler Queen, what they did back there, why they did it, the whole thing with the spirits. This is how Callie was able to put it in the story, right? Because Lottie told it to her during that night that there was a spirit in the forest that made Shauna the Antler Queen, and that now is making her, Callie, the new Antler Queen, the ultimate Antler Queen. And I truly think that Callie is in on it with Lottie and believes Lottie and is going to continue her cult. And Lottie just sacrificed herself for Callie because they didn't have to include this, but they do. When Lottie is falling down to her death, she goddamn smiles. And that's for us. That's not for Callie. It's not for her dad. Callie didn't tell her dad that Lottie was smiling when she died. That is for us. And there's this idea that Callie is like the child of all of them and the wilderness, because every time they hunted and killed one of them and ate them, they kind of assimilated them. And I think this would be interesting with the thing that Travis said, right? If you eat someone, you assimilate part of who they are and you have their thoughts and memories. That would be kind of cool. Like, my thing of the spirit is completely not true is wavering a little bit. I feel like they could go a bit paranormal with these specific revelations of Callie being their baby, the baby of all of them together with the wilderness, and Travis having those thoughts. I'm willing to bend a little bit, but I still think it's all bullshit and none of it is real. But I think that Callie believes it because she's probably a narcissist like her mother, who thinks the world spins around her and she deserves the world, whatever she wants to do with it. So I feel like the present timeline when it comes to Callie next seasons could be about her continuing what Lottie started with this cult/religion that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist because the spirits of the forest are not real. Because here's the thing. The show has made so many efforts to show us how all these hallucinations and all these images and ideas could just be a fruit of their imagination. It could just be coincidental. They made Lottie have already like hallucinations and issues with her thoughts before she came to the forest. They made a gas cave up just to explain hallucinations. Like they made the frogs just to explain those yells in the forest. Like they've made such an effort at explaining all this supposedly supernatural shit. Why would it turn out to be real now? And final thing on this Lottie Callie thing is Lottie says to Callie, "You're just like her, but more." And I feel like Callie thought that she was talking about her mother. You're just like her mother, but more. But no, she was talking about Jackie. That Callie is just like Jackie, but more. And that's why Shauna is so jealous of her and could never like her. Which I don't think is completely true. Maybe. Shauna doesn't seem to like anything else but mess and chaos and being Antler Queen. But yeah, Misty confronts her. She advises her against returning to Shauna. Baby girl Callie and dad go somewhere else. They leave the house and Shauna is alone. And she has that goddamn breakdown. And I don't want to see anyone pitying Shauna. I don't want to see anyone saying that she's crying out of regret, out of sorrow, out of guilt. She was crying because she missed hunting people. Because what did she call it? What did she call the activities in the wilderness? What did she call the hunting of human beings? What did she call the eating of human beings? Fun. She called it fun. And bet your sweet ass she's going to do it again, because we end the season with Ty kind of turning on Shauna. Because, oh, by the way, when they went to bury Van, of course they didn't call the goddamn police. Where the hell is Melissa? But when they went to bury Van, Ty took a bite of her heart. She came back to the car with blood all over her mouth, and Shauna didn't even blink. I have a sneaky feeling that Ty might try to be like getting into Misty's graces to find out where Callie is, if Ty and Shauna are working together. But I will trust that Ty is turning on Shauna. But I mean, will it matter? Because clearly Shauna was having fun hunting human beings and she wants to do it again. She wants to bring that back. So what are we going to see the next season? Shauna hunting them down and eating them. Bet your sweet ass she will go for Misty, she will go for Ty, and she will go for Melissa. And whoever the hell else is alive, because we need another adult character. 4 is too little. And I mean, when she said that it was fun, I could see how it was fun for her. I could see how it was some fun for Ty and for Lottie. But did y'all see Van? After she finds Maury dead, she's the girl with the pink sneakers. She finds Maury dead and she sobs, just like Natalie sobbed. And she does it in Ty's arms. And goddamn, Shauna is just like, you're done? We got stuff to do. Are you done with your feelings? Like, while Van was literally sobbing her soul out of her body, Shauna was just having fun. Just having a picnic. Going on a roller coaster. Psychopath. But you know what's gonna be fun as well? Next season when she becomes a serial killer? That's gonna be hella fun. It's not a problematic statement at all. At all. Oh, and lastly, to finalize this rant review of this finale that I enjoyed very much. Thank you. Thank you, show. I'm sorry I doubted you. Thank you. I trust you till the end now. To finalize my thoughts, Shauna, in that goddamn speech, she had the audacity to say such things as, back then, I wasn't a mother. I wasn't a wife. I was a warrior. I was a queen. Baby girl, you were hunting humans and eating them. You weren't a warrior. You were a dictator who ate human flesh of your friends. Warrior, my ass. There is no doubt in my mind that Misty is going to be the final girl. absolutely no doubt in my mind. I said it before, I'll say it again. The ending of the show, wherever it ends, is going to be Misty in that goddamn old people place. No doubt in my mind. That's the final girl right there. Because Shauna's narcissism and Shauna's bloodthirst is going to be her demise. Ty, come on. Baby girl is gonna go at some point. Van is gone. Ty's like hooked to life is gone. She's just going off on revenge at this point. And her relationship with her son, non-existent. And Melissa, come on. Who thinks Melissa's gonna be the final girl? Come on. I will probably do a better analysis of who I think will be the final girl and why. But for now, this is it. And I think that's all I have. Oh no, my God, Walter. We had one shot of Walter and it was him menacingly looking out the window while what metal was playing. Who is this person? And I know that everyone thinks it's going to be a big plot reveal about him. I want him to be who he is, and I know that's not going to happen. And I'm already mourning because I think we could say that he's like looking out for Misty, that he's seeing Ty and seeing that Ty is just playing Misty once again. But I don't know. Why was he listening to heavy metal? That's still the thing that surprised me the most. Have I not been paying attention to Walter? But anyway, I want to know what you guys think Walter's deal is. I want to know who you think he is, why he's doing that. Because I believe that he likes Misty, but is anyone that obsessed with someone that they would forgive anything and keep tabs on them just to make sure they are okay? Anyway, you guys, that's my review of Yellowjackets Season 3 finale. I am so pumped for the next 2 seasons. I mean, if the showrunners have been, like, if they wrote this thing from the very beginning to be 5 seasons, and if they know exactly everything that's going to happen, I will appreciate it. I will appreciate it because moments like this chase are just so good. We've been expecting this chase for how long? Years. 3 seasons worth of years. And in the end, it wasn't even about the goddamn chase. It wasn't. It was about everything else that was happening in the background. It was about everyone else's intentions, everyone else's plan, because everyone had a plan B within plan A. And yeah, it really paid off. I love the way they did that shot, that scene. And yeah, I'm just happy that in the end, it kind of all made sense. At least almost all of it. Yeah. But yeah, guys, come back tomorrow. We're going to be talking Handmaid's Tale. I know an episode is not going to come out, but I want to analyze the preview. And this is a new thing that I'm doing for you guys. Come check it out. And on Sunday, I'll probably have another video about Criminal Minds because season 18 is coming. Can you tell that I am a big Criminal Minds fangirl? Yeah. Anyway, guys, see you tomorrow. Bye.